and raised here in Los Angeles, California, and I identify as a trans man.
My name is Elena Popp. I was born in Acapulco, Guerrero, Mexico. I was raised in Los Angeles, California. My family came here in 1968. I identify as a lesbian. On my gravestone, if I were to have a gravestone, it would say I was a Latina lesbian activist that fought for peace and justice through nonviolence.
Wonderful.
Is that we did meet at a Latina lesbian retreat in 1993, September
September of 93.
September of 93 in San Bernardino Mountains. And I saw her, and for me it was love at first sight.
And so I was at this retreat, and I was reading poetry about sexism in the Latina lesbian community. And there was a line in one of my poems about Latina lesbian Amazons in Come Fuck Me pumps. And I was dressed in a very short skirt with very high heels, and Ridge was in the front row catcalling me, with my friends in the back of the room saying, "She has a brain," and then Ridge calling back, "That's a plus."
We don't have manuals, right? Couple manuals how to really have a relationship with somebody. And there were these two books that I had an opportunity to read. The first one is How to Get the Love You Want, which really was amazing. It helped me find the kindness I needed to find again, because whatever it was that was just I was not getting, that I was not asking for because I wasn't asking for it, because I wasn't asserting myself, allowed me to come back to Elena with an open heart, and willing to take the chance of her really being upset with me. But I don't know, I just believe I have faith in the fact that we both said to each other that we are each other's lobsters, penguins, whatever, or turtles. And I've always known I want to die in this woman's arms.
I think that at the beginning of the relationship, because I am a very straightforward person, I was very straightforward with Bridget at the time, Ridge now, and made it clear that for me, my work as an activist always has to be number one. And we agreed to things like going to a demonstration counts as quality time, and the movement always comes first. And that worked just fine for the first 17 years of the relationship. But there came a point where it stopped working for Bridget. And Bridget then started exploring other options, other avenues, other things that she could do. And that brought her to a position as a line worker, as a utility pole worker. And that was a very life-changing experience for her, because it put her in circles that were different from the circles that we normally travel in. And that ultimately opened up Ridge's eyes to the fact that Bridget was not really who he was, and Ridge started to transition. The transition, I think, was very, very difficult for us. It's one thing to be politically correct about people's right to identify however they want to be. But if Ridge is a man, then am I still a lesbian? It was it affected who I am and my identity.
I may be Ridge today and Bridget back then, but my kindness doesn't change. The asshole that came out, that withdrew, that Elena hated because I didn't talk or anything, was because I was being defensive and I was scared and I was hurt and I was disappointed. That was the asshole, that was the withdrawal part. But once I started to let that go and just be kind again, and even if she was mad at me, she would say something to me, I would be, "That's okay, I understand that you're upset." And I wasn't doing it condescending, I was really acknowledging and validating all those feelings. That kindness translated to this right now.
But I have dealt with the whole marginality all my life. I'm a Latina lesbian, progressive, anarchist, chingona, people's lawyer, etc., and I look like a bougie white woman, right? So always having to sort of overcome the don't judge a book by its cover thing. And to tell you the truth, when I first came out, one of the first things I did is get rid of dresses, cut all the sleeves off all my t-shirts, and practice walking like a butch, right? Well, it doesn't, you either are or you aren't. You can't turn yourself into a butch. And so, you know, I realized that being who I am this sort of femme girl, and yet an Amazon warrior, right? So
Happiness today is sitting with the love of my life, looking into her eyes and knowing that she'll always be here with me.
happiness today is knowing that Ridge and I every single day give more to the world than we take, and that we will be together forever and ever, just like we promised.
Just